وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. يروي الإمام الترمذي في جامعه بسند صحيح عن عائشة أم المؤمنين رضي الله عنها قالت قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. The hadith tonight collection Imam Tirmidhi, narrated to us by Aisha radiallahu anha, an authentic chain of narration. The theme is the theme of the usage of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam of the word خيركم or خياركم, the best of you. And he used it alayhi salatu wasalam in a number of around 10 hadith or more. And when you put them all together, they're quite nice. They kind of paint a picture. Alayhi salatu wasalam will say, the best of you who do this, or the best of you who do that. And I like those hadith where they just kind of, you just take a. So yesterday he said, خيركم أو خياركم أحسنكم قضاء. The ones who make the best judgments when they are judging a dispute, or they always give the benefit or the advantage to the other party when they are trying to figure out a dispute. Instead of trying to take it for themselves, they try to make sure they're fair, and then they give the other party a little bit more. This hadith tonight is a famous one, and if you listen to the verses, you may have already figured out which one it is. When he said alayhi salatu wasalam, and Aisha tells us this in the hadith, قال خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. وروى الإمام أحمد بسند صحيح قال خياركم لنسائهم. So the hadith has like two narrations. The one that I enjoy the more is the first one, where he says alayhi salatu wasalam, the best of you are the best of you لأهلهم. So the word ahl is sometimes mistranslated to parents, because if you're single and I ask you, kayf ahlak, you're going to tell me, oh, my dad and my mom are fine. And that's just slang. It's just slang. In proper Arabic, al-ahl is your wife and whoever you burdened her with having later on from your seed. That's ahlak. That's why if you go, especially go like to parts of the Khalij and Saudi, they'll use that term more appropriately, al-ahl, and they mean their wives. But I come from Syria, we don't use it that way. Ahli is my parents. But it's wrong in terms of the context of this hadith, to understand the hadith. You can continue to use that in your daily slang, fine. But in terms of understanding this hadith, you have to understand the context. So خيركم لأهلي, the best of you towards their spouses and their families, their children. And he said, وأنا خيركم لأهلي, and I am the best of you towards them. Now, he is not bragging, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and even if he did, he would have the right to do so, and I'd be happy with it. But that's not what he's doing. He's trying to explain to you who to follow. Like, who is it that you should be looking to emulate? He's telling you, the best of you towards your family. Now do as I did towards my family, so that you don't end up making things up as you go along. Because if you don't have an example, then that word, the best of you towards your families or your spouses, you may misunderstand that or misinterpret that or go beyond what is actually required or what is actually appropriate. Because the best of you towards your spouses doesn't mean the ones that don't say no to anything or don't know when to point out that their protection and their safety comes before their leisure. Like, there are certain things that are actually a part of being the best you can be towards your family. How do you learn that? You watch him, alayhi salatu wasalam. You see how he was with his spouses. Yeah? You find the leniency, you find the love, you find the service, and you find the protection as well. And you find the teaching and the mentorship and the leadership that he offered his family, alayhi salatu wasalam. So that's why he's saying, وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي. Even in this one, emulate me. Don't go rogue. Because if you do, then you'll end up thinking that you're doing well, but you're not. And then to make the other hadith, خياركم لنسائهم. The best of you towards their women. And the word women now makes it a little bit more broad. It broadens this a little bit more. Like this hadith, I could have honestly narrated this hadith on its own. It broadens the whole topic, but because there's a lot of these hadith, I don't want to take this series to take forever. I want to get through it over 2 weeks or so. The women in your life, your spouse obviously, but also your mother, and your sister, and your daughter, and your aunt, your grandmother, and the women in your life, the women that you are mahram to, that depend on you, that you are required by legal law, Islamic legal law, to protect and provide for when needed. You don't have to provide for all of them. You have to protect all of them. You provide for your spouse, and then whoever is in dire need, like if your mother is in need of wealth, then it comes out of your pocket. If your sister's in need of wealth, it comes out of your pocket. Legally, Islamically, it comes out of your pocket if she's in dire need. If she can't take care of herself, it's from your pocket. She could take you to an Islamic judge, and he will pull it out of your pocket against your will. Just so you know that. Just so you understand that. Women in your life, your maharim, you are legally responsible for doing the best you can with them. The best you can. You provide for them and you protect them. So the best of you towards those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you qawwam upon. Those that you are going to continue to be a caregiver for. And it's a very important topic within our deen to understand. The Prophet ﷺ is giving you a measurement. He's measuring the best of you. You want to be amongst the best Muslims? And not just that. Well, how do I know? To rank Muslims is impossible, obviously, as individuals. To rank Islamic behavior is also very difficult. It's a very tricky thing to do. It's not simple, it's complex. But ﷺ, when he uses the word khayrukum, the best of you, he's making it a little bit easier. Because he's kind of prioritizing for you a little bit. Right? The best of you, when it comes to mu'amalat, when it comes to transactions, is the one who makes sure the other party is taken care of and they're satisfied. When it comes to relationships, it's the ones who are the best towards their spouses and their families. He's ranking things. This is the best. This is what you should be aiming for. Not the one who's most strict, not the one who's everyone. No, it's the one who's the best, who's the kindest, who's the most in service towards, and those who dedicate their time and their lives towards them. And this is important because we tend to forget our priorities as men, for sure. We tend to forget our. Women don't need this hadith. They don't. A woman who is married with children, she knows her priorities are as straight as an arrow. A woman who is married with kids does not really need anyone to remind her of her priorities. She knows what her priorities are. It's her husband and her children. She knows that. It comes naturally. It's like 1 in a billion that they wouldn't be clear on that. But men, no, men, you can easily. We're very distractible creatures. It's easy to distract us. We can easily get follow and forget. No, Islam, for you to be performing your duty as a Muslim, your priority starts with your wife and your children, your family. And then after that, other things come. Don't get distracted. خيركم لأهله. That's the best of you towards your spouses. It's a reminder because we can easily kind of lose that. And I think it's a beautiful hadith to contemplate. يروي الإمام الترمذي في جامعه بسند صحيح عن عائشة المؤمنين رضي الله عنها قالت قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. وروى أحمد في مسنده بسند صحيح خياركم لنسائهم. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله